Welcome back to 316 Exposure. Always controversial, sometimes uncomfortable, but always honest. Please remember to hit the like button and subscribe. We are a new channel and need your support. If you want instant notifications, ring the bell in the top right-hand corner of your screen.
Happy Memorial Day. It doesn't seem right to say it like that, does it? Today is one of the few holidays that doesn't fit neatly into a friendly salutation. And it shouldn't. This day doesn't belong to us. Memorial Day is a day to acknowledge a debt owed to men and women better than us. It is a debt that can never be repaid. On this day, though, we must address those men and women in our thoughts and prayers and convey our appreciation. There are memorials to them everywhere, and while statues and flags are wonderful testimonials, their proper memorials are not confined to town squares and government buildings. Everything we have and love is a testament to their sacrifice. We have peace in the land we live in. We have children and houses, gardens, dogs and cats, and music and sports and wonderful dinners, all of it brought to us by those who fought and died for us. We have today because a young soldier traded in the rest of his or her days to give it to us. Every American warrior who died in every war contributed to the safety of the United States because there's no better deterrent to an aggressor than a people ready to fight to the death for freedom and liberty. In Iraq, Afghanistan, Vietnam, Korea, World War I and World War II, and back to the founding of our country, our bravest contributed to the realization of the United States you and I enjoy. It's easy to get emotional thinking of so many young lives cut short. Some would never get the chance to have children or a wedding or make a mark in the field of their interest. Some never knew air travel or witnessed space exploration or television or rock and roll or the internet. Generations of Red Sox fans who went to war and didn't come home never saw their team finally win the World Series over the 86 years it took to clinch that victory. We did, though. Being an American means that you won life's lottery. It didn't have to be that way. Many times in the short of life of this country, there have been forces that threatened our path and our very existence. At every turn, there were citizens who risked their share of today's bounty in order to ensure tomorrow's. They secured a future for us and never lived to see it. That's the legacy of a fallen American soldier, and that's why we honor them. They no longer have a place at the table, so we must afford them a place in our minds and hearts. Many of their parents and children and friends are among us today, and we should let them witness the affection we feel for their fallen loved ones. Their comfort would certainly be a fitting tribute to those we honor on this day. We try to remember those who died in wartime. We mark those historic days and those anniversaries. We fly the flag and hold parades. We visit cemeteries and post remembrances on Facebook. Heck, even movie makers and video game creators even try to recreate the feeling of what it's like to fight. But for those who were not there, whose lives are young, the wars are ancient history. The Revolution, the war between the states, Spanish-American War, World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and the First Gulf War, and the ongoing efforts by our military around the globe today are often just mere words on school tests and Wikipedia pages. Sometimes, however, there are just too many distractions. A day off work, a chance to sleep, good weather, a cookout, sales at our favorite stores. We'd rather those days not be spoiled with reminders of those who died. We don't want to know about the soldiers, sailors, Marines, and flyers who were killed serving their nation. And we don't want to see the row upon row of gleaming white gravestones in the cemeteries that have taken the place of battlefields from coast to coast and locations worldwide. We don't want to hear stories of boys and girls who went away never to return, or the families that suffered loss, or the sense of emptiness that never went away. But this Monday, on Memorial Day, we must remember. We must remember the 4,400 rebels who died in the American Revolution. We must remember the 2,200 who died in the War of 1812. We must remember the 215,000 Americans, Union and Confederate forces, who died on the battlefields of the Civil War, giving rise to this holiday once called Decoration Day, a day to decorate the graves of those who died in wartime, and now celebrated on the last Monday of May as Memorial Day. We must remember the 53,500 Americans killed in World War I, the 292,000 killed in World War II, the 33,667 in Korea, the 47,393 in Vietnam, the 148 in the first Gulf War, the 6,840 killed during the war in Iraq, and the 2,396 killed in Afghanistan. And so we try to explain to those who haven't been there why they too must remember. Yes, we hope these young people never know battle, but we want them to understand. We want to tell them what it's like, as our fathers, grandfathers, and great-grandfathers told us about World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and the Middle East. We try to show them, honoring those who died with memorials from statues of generals on horseback to the solemn Vietnam Wall, the grim yet inspiring Korean War Memorial, and the epic World War II Memorial on the Capitol Mall in Washington, D.C. And we speak of the profound sadness we feel as we walk among the rows of small marble headstones that mark the resting place of so many who gave so much in the wars that marked the 241 years of our nation's experiment in freedom. No matter how difficult it may seem, we must not forget. For their sacrifice, we owe them that much and more. Their memories live on every day, that we as a country uphold the values of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So yes, enjoy the holiday weekend, barbecue with your family and friends, celebrate responsibly, jump in a pool, laugh, dance, and sing. And at 3 p.m. on Monday, stand still and quiet for the moment in remembrance to thank those who gave their lives for this country. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for listening. Have a very safe holiday weekend. And until next time, God bless you and your families.